What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction and back with some more Bad Religion. And we're returning to the 1990 album Against the Grain. I've said it a million times, I will repeat again. This is the final of the 3-album run, final record of the 3-album run. I consider to be their absolute golden period, even if I love every one of their albums. And I think they've been one of the most consistent bands, not just punk bands, but bands in general that I'm familiar with over such a long history, now spanning 45 years. But we're going to listen to 2 tunes. I'll do them in separate reactions, though I may do them in one sitting, given that I have Luca on my lap, but I'll cut it so that I'll have 2 different videos. But both of them, I think, drive at similar issues, and maybe even represent a similar argument, though at different points in a long timeline. Maybe they do take different angles on that same concept, but they're both written by Mr. Brett, who often is more poetic and figurative in his meanings. I think Mr. Brett songs are a bit harder to pin down in terms of the concepts at play or the perspectives being expressed, whereas Greg, I think, tends to write songs, whether about philosophical views or socio-cultural critiques, that are a bit more direct, a bit more clearly laid out. Nevertheless, we're going to listen to first Turn on the Light, which is a song that not only sonically speaks to their sound during this period, late 80s, early 90s, fast, rocking, very direct in terms of the music, meaning they just come at you, they say a lot, they burn hot and hard, and get out very quickly, which I think is actually quite appropriate as a lead-in to the way I've always taken this song, which is to say it speaks to someone who wants to burn bright, who wants to go against the system. I think there's a line, bucking the system, who wants to serve as a beacon. So not only wanting to make an impact and influence events and the circumstances of the world, but perhaps wants to serve as an example, as a template that others might emulate or at least derive inspiration and action from, and is willing to burn so hot and bright that they may perish earlier than they otherwise would. So it speaks to someone, I think, who wants to radiate and illuminate as much as possible, even if it means that because they're always burning so bright and they're always relentless in their pursuit of that illumination, that again, they may pass away sooner rather than later. They may burn out like a bright meteorite or a meteor passing through the sky. So I think there's a reference to a Roman candle, which, if I remember reading, is something about, like, there's a Kerouac novel, maybe On the Road. I may not be getting that right, but it speaks to the idea, again, of being passionate for everything, wanting to express and, again, radiate so intensely as to maybe be seen as mad by others. So yes, I think this speaks to someone who wants to make a huge impact and is willing to be a bit self-sacrificial if it means others might view it and see it as a beacon to be approached, to be followed, or at least to be inspired by. Indeed, I think maybe followed is the wrong word. But yes, ultimately, I think it is, of course, up to interpretation, and as I said, I think Mr. Brett's songs are, in particular, a bit more difficult to pin down or specifically interpret. In any case, I'll stop talking. Let's hear it. This is Bad Religion. The track is Turn on the Light, and it's from their 1990 album, Against the Grain.
I had a friend who kept a candle in his pocket. He used to touch it when the wind was blowing high. I guess it made me feel like he could up the system. And when it cleared out, we made him gonna die. I turn on the light, turn on a million blinding, brilliant white incendiary lights. Yeah, I'm beacon in the night. I'll burn relentlessly until my juice is dry. I'm just on the rack of tempered beans and trusses, and equipped with just a million tiny suns. I'll install them on the roof of my compartment and place it foil on my floor and on my walls. Then I'll turn on the light, turn on a million blinding, brilliant white incendiary lights. A beacon in the night. I'll burn relentlessly until my juice is dry. Like a rolling
say a lot in a short period of time. They rock through ideas that are nuanced and complex, but with a very visceral type of feeling. It's one of the greatest things about Bad Religion. It's an intellectual experience, and yet it's also very visceral and, again, like headbanging, for lack of a better word. It just really touches on both ends of the cognitive and psycho-emotional spectrum. So, yeah, shout out to Mr. Brett for writing a cool song. Shout out to the whole band. Indeed, shout out to Bentley for that little bass flourish in the latter half of the tune. And yeah, let me know what you think, again, whenever I do reactions in general. And certainly when I react to songs I know for a very long time, but those which, again, have intellectual concepts, poetic, and in some cases ambiguous or multifaceted meanings. I never claim that my take or view is definitive or otherwise authoritative. It's always just this is how I've taken this song, this is how I see and interpret these lines. So, in any case, let me know what you think of the tune, and I will see you next time. That's right, I'm going to do this in the same session, so I'm just going to cut it right here. See you in a moment. Peace.